goosebumps. Reds opening day in Cincinnati. It's special. It just is. I'm Tanya O'Rourke, back here, of course, with Sports Director John Popovich and Reds historian Greg Rhodes. Thanks for being here, guys. We're having a great day so far.
We just got entertained by the Little Miami marching band.
They're fantastic.
I think if we look down now, St. Veronica School, I don't know if we get a shot. They're the ones that every year do a landmark, and the kids prepare things. And they built their own streetcar this year, and to represent the political battle that took place, and also what's coming to Channel 9. And it's moving behind us a little bit, but it's just a variety of things that allow us to see part of our city and to go through the heart of our city too. And it's far beyond baseball.
Yeah, he talked about the flyover.
Yes.
Marshall did there. And usually, Greg Rhodes, we do have a big flyover, which really sets everyone's hair on end and is such a goosebumpy kind of thing. But, there have been some changes in the U.S. government. This year, the helicopters? Yep.
Helicopters. We lost the planes a couple of years ago. Or lost the big ones. Yeah, but there's so much hoopla, though. I think we can get by with helicopters. Maybe Dan Carroll will be in one of them.
Hamilton County Sheriff's Office handling it. Next year, we'll just have Chopper 9.
And Bill Castellini told me last night, he says, frankly, the Hamilton County Sheriff's Department came to their rescue by doing that because the sequester has caused them. Usually they'd just call up Ray Patterson or people like that, and they'd come and they'd just give one of those that would just take your breath away. But and the helicopters will be great. The people will appreciate it, and they'll respond to it just very well.
And you know what? I got to think, if you're one of those pilots from Right Pat and you got to do the flyover, that had to be a pretty cool deal. In fact, there is a look from Chopper 9 at oh my goodness, look at the throngs of people lining the streets to catch any glimpse of this historic parade. 95 years.
And there were people a good hour before the parade, maybe a couple hours. They had already set their chairs in place. They knew where they got their spot together, and they knew where they wanted to sit. They wanted to see.
The parade always draws a big crowd every year, but when you've had a winter like we've had, and really, I mean, this is the nicest day we've had in 6 months, it feels like. So I think it's just really drawn everybody. Everybody's come out today.
I think this is an omen for the whole season. A beautiful opening day, a beautiful season. What do you think, guys?
Well, I think that's perfect. And, the other day we got rain all day long, so it washed away all the salt and the grit and everything, cleaned up the town a little bit for the parade. This day comes, the sun comes out, the temperature has to be up into the 60s right now. Let's go down, and the guy who's probably enjoying this more than anybody else is with Ken Brew, and that is the owner of the Cincinnati Reds, Bob Castellini. Ken, take it away.
Mr. Castellini tells me he ordered the weather tonight, Bob, for this game today, Bob. You must talk to the guy in charge on a nightly basis.
Somebody ordered it. I think it's the nicest weather day of the year so far.
It is.
We're lucky, very lucky.
Very lucky. Now, I know you're a guy of eternal optimism. Let's get a prediction from you right off the top here on your team this year. How do you feel about your team this year?
Well, I noticed we got picked as a wild card selection in the New York Times yesterday morning, and I think that's too high. We'd rather be picked lower than that.
Lower than that?
You bet. I mean, worse than that, higher than that, whatever you say.
Yeah.
Less than the top, lower from the top, because our guys will really get pumped up when they see us being chosen as number 3, 4 in the division.
I know this is exciting today because it's opening day, but to add on the fact that the Cardinals are here, and let's face it, this is a great rivalry, one of the best in baseball anymore. That just adds to the lore, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think the Cardinals have taken the place of the Dodgers way back when they were in our division. It was hardcore competition, and the Cardinals, so we feel the same way. They're probably our primary rival, I would say.
I think you'd agree with this. There's certain things that define a community, and every community has something that's different about it that defines it. Today defines Cincinnati. This really, truly, you can hear the parade behind us, the helicopter is above us. We're down here, the team's getting ready to play. This is really something that defines the fabric of the city that we live in.
Well, today was very exhilarating. I just got back from the parade. I was watching it from the Westin, and it was phenomenal. And to see that sea of red out there, you had to be proud. It was Cincinnati proud.
You got to be proud, too. We talked a little bit about this a little while ago with Joe Morgan, but I had a chance to go out and view that the construction site out there in Roselawn of the Urban Academy that's out there. That's really a showpiece for an area of town that could really use it.
Yes. We're going to have 800 kids year-round learning baseball and character and how to get through life later on in life, and these are at-risk kids for the most part, and it is a terrific thing for our city. It will outlast the All-Star game. It's that important. It'll be there for a long, long time.
Mentioned the All-Star game. That's on the horizon. Championship season begins today, the 162. Now, when you were a young guy, did you come to an opening day? Do you have an opening day memory here in Cincinnati?
Well, I just gave one earlier to George Grand, and I don't think I can go through that thing again because it's so long. But when I was a little kid, I started being brought to the games, and I used to be able to play hooky. And
sure,
I've been to just about every opening day. If I was living in the city, living in Cincinnati, I was there. So except for about 11, 12 years, I've been to every opening day since I was in the 3rd grade, I think.
So like Christmas and New Year's and July the 4th, it was just something you looked forward to.
Yeah. And today was really exciting to see so much interest and enthusiasm. It's terrific. You feel it, Ken. It's all over the city right now. It makes you feel proud.
Good to see you again.
Yeah, likewise.
Bob Castellini, he's the guy in charge down here. I'm not. We'll send it back to John and Tanya.
Thank you, Ken. You know what I got to love is that Bob Castellini and I have something in common. We got to play hooky for the Reds opening day parade in the game when we were kids.
He almost seemed a little sheepish about admitting it. Hey, you can do it now, Bob. It's all right.
And he said he's been to every opening date. Helps when you own the team. I love that, though. Gotta love that he has gone to so many. Has been a resident of this town for so long, and obviously such a huge, huge supporter of everything in the city, including the Reds. Let's go down to Bryce Onslinger. He's on Ray Street. What's happening behind you now?
Well, I tell you, Tanya, we got the Little Miami High School Marching Band, and they are taking some activities. You never know who you're going to run into down here at the parade. This is my little niece, Oakley. Oakley, what's your favorite part of the parade so far? The horsies. And that's why she has her red cowboy boots on, for the horsies. So my little niece, Oakley, is in Austin. They're enjoying the parade, but check out the band here. They're doing some dance moves. Little Miami is getting down here on Ray Street. You can see the drummers. They always have the most fun, it seems like, in the band, playing their big drums and making some noise. These guys doing their march steps, but we've seen a lot of high school bands having a lot of fun out here on Ray Street. And you can see as they head downtown, we're just really in the midst of it here on Ray Street. Tanya and Papa, let's send it back to you at Music Hall.
I love that. Thank you so much, Bryce. I love that his little niece, Oakley, popped by, got to hang out with big Uncle Bryce for a couple of minutes.
Loved her boots. You know, several minutes ago, Jay Warren showed you that Hugh Kids drill team, and they were dancing. Well, they came by here several minutes later. They were still going at it. Those kids are going to sleep well tonight, I think.
Well, and I smell the delicious smell of fried dough.
Oh, yeah.
Right now, so they're going to deserve some fried dough and some hot dogs after this. Reds batting practice, getting a nice, beautiful look at it from Chopper 9. You know what, Greg Rhodes, don't you love seeing that? Them all standing around that cage, taking some hits?
Yeah, and in another hour or so, well, no, about 3 o'clock or 2:30, 3 o'clock as the fans start swelling the ballpark and filling the seats. Hey, it's springtime now for sure. Now we're looking at summertime, and we're looking at a great year, another year of Reds baseball. And let's hope, if you're a fan, frankly, starting off with the Cardinals is great. Let's whip them 3 in a row and let them look up at us the rest of this season.
Well, this is a very much a social day. We're out here socially. Down there, Phil Castellini told me, he says, this is the day for the bosses. Then opening night, that's the day the masses, the workers come out to the game. This is a day kind of to see and be seen and enjoy the game, and if you're lucky enough to get tickets. But and it's probably been that way for years and years, whether it was Crosley Field, Riverfront, or Great American
Yeah,
Ballpark.
I noticed that Bob Castellini was talking about his first opening day memories, did not mention the year.
No,
but I'm sure that was back in the old Crosley Field days.
Wasn't that long ago. He's a nice young man.
I don't know whether you guys ever saw openers there or not. My first opener I saw was at Riverfront on a day so unlike today. It was 1985, and I think we had every season. It snowed, it rained, it sleeted, we had sunshine. God, that was a crazy day.
Yep.
You know, I absolutely loved, and I think you guys have all heard this story before, so we're taking a look at the parade, is that my father used to produce the games for the Reds for television. So we had every time we wanted to go, we could sit behind home plate, and Johnny Bench was my hero. And I'd sit there with a mitt every single day. Have I ever told you this?
No.
And I loved him, and I looked like Pete Rose when I was a child. I had short, like a grown-up Dorothy Hamill haircut.
You had a flat
So
top?
Johnny wasn't looking at you.
I looked like, well, I was a little kid. I looked like a boy. I was very hot one day, and I was like complaining, and I'd had him, Mom, and she said, just take off your shirt. Everyone thinks you're a boy anyway. There I sat at the Reds game with just my glove and shorts. Nobody knew. It was the best. I was a little kid. It wasn't a big deal, everybody.
Tanya Hustle.
I did. I looked like Pete Rose. I did as a child. It was. I'll share pictures
we'll
online.
Look for your head first slide here in a minute.
You don't want to see that. Oh, we're having too much fun here at Reds Opening Day Parade. It is the 95th annual Findlay Market Reds Opening Day Parade, where our coverage of it continues right after this.
Probably last year. That was big for me. I was a starter, and just to hear the roar of the crowd was pretty cool. And Cincinnati does it really good. I think they do the best opening day. They packed house where I live. I can see all the fans already outside the door, and it's pretty cool. You wish it was a little warmer, but at the same time, you're hot enough because your energy's moving.